Alrighty, so everybody else has been picking up their carriages. I was actually able to pick up mine. This is what we've got going on here. Needed something to put into it, because, well, just a baby carriage is just a baby carriage. So we have our baby launcher. Just used a piece of plywood, used 1/2-inch plywood, put a piece of foam down underneath it just to give it some support so plywood wasn't sitting right in the carriage. Bolt on one end for the spring, cut off just an arm, just long enough to be able to fit up underneath the top of the little sunshade, and the bolt at the other end of the arm to connect the spring. Ended up using a regular hinge, but got a spring-loaded storm door latch for the mechanism, trigger mechanism. I tried a couple other things, including a gate latch. The gate latch, though, required gravity, and with it being in a horizontal position, the gravity didn't work. Got a couple eye bolts going up through, run my wire up underneath the sunshade. Once I get the baby attached, it's real easy, real quick, nothing's fancy. Just give it a tug, and we launch our baby up out of the buggy. Real easy, snaps right back down into place. Real easy to use, even if I have a kid running this one, which I do believe I will have one of my youth actors running this at least one weekend. It's real simple to use, can't mess it up, can't hurt yourself for the most part. Alright, so I thought I'd give a quick update here on the baby carriage. Did make some few little alterations here. Before we get to those, though, the one piece that I was missing, was able to finally get a website here, which somebody told me about on Haunter's Hangout, for the sound boxes. And I know the one they posted isn't quite the one I got, but I got this smaller one, which is basically the same thing that goes inside the like the stuffed dolls and bears and stuff like that when you squeeze them, they make noises. It was only about $5, so it was about, the other one that I was looking at was like 15. So I was able to get 3 of these. It's only about a 10-second record time on this one, but at the same time I was able to get 3, so if this one breaks, then I'm ready to go. Also added a piece of foam board in here as to hit the trigger mechanism, which you'll see in a moment. Basically with this one here, this whole front end is just basically a power disc, so when you hit it, it automatically goes. A couple quick safety features I put in since I last recorded. I did cover the spring with a piece of PVC pipe. That way, if someone did get their fingers down in there, again, I got a lot of kids around my haunt, they'll less likely to get their fingers stuck in there. Plus, I added a bungee cord. Now, the bungee cord's not attached right this minute to the back side of the launch piece, simply to make sure that it doesn't, if something happens on the other end, it doesn't go flying off into the air. I think those are the only 2 changes I made. Plus added, again, the little sound piece. I did turn it on. So up here, again, we got the little trigger to pull whenever they're walking around with it. And this is what we get. So, again, this whole thing probably cost me less than $30 to make. And again, it is just for pre-opening, so it's only going to be running for about an hour. And I think once I get the baby blanket over the front of it and cover everything up, I think we got us a carriage. I will show the final result here once I get this sheet on. Okay, one final update before I get everything closed up here and finalized. Just a couple odds and ends. First one is I had a foam piece down here. At one point I had this hot glued down to the base, and after it kept popping up and hitting it multiple times, finally it started working itself loose from the hot glue. So I cut just an identical piece out of just some scrap wood I had laying around, and actually screwed it to the base, holding it in place a little bit better. Had to kind of curve off the ends here so it'd be able to make contact with the noisemaker when it popped up. Was hitting down too low, wasn't actually setting it off. I have that off for right now, but just so I can pull this up and it did add a couple blocks of foam to the back here. This is simply just because whenever I was pulling on the cable, it was sliding everything back and not actually popping up. So I put that in there to help stabilize everything, and just gave a quick paint of black to the base, the door handle mechanism, and the back of the actual pop-up piece. Everything else is going to be covered up with a blanket, but I just wanted to kind of, paint that black just to cover it up a little bit better and make it not stand out as much. So next is going to be adding the baby blanket to here. Going to hot glue it down over the sides up here and across the front of the doll, and just going to stuff it in down to the ends down here. That way I can pull it up whenever I need to turn on the noise maker on and off. So as soon as I get that done, I'll get that in here and show everything complete. Thank you. Alright, so here she is, all finished up. Blanket is finally in place and glued down. Left a little opening right here just so I could get to the sound box, but it's glued on the edges. I did glue it to the body just to hold it up. But here she is, and again, we'll pull the ring. Not honestly as loud as I was hoping it was going to be, but for something that's just going to be used for a couple hours before the haunt opens, entertaining the kids, doing the other events, and being pushed around by one of my younger actors. Didn't want anything with batteries and electronics and all that stuff, so I think this one is finally done and ready to be put away and moved out to the castle as soon as we start moving things out. If you have any questions about the build, anything that I use, definitely feel free to comment, and I will answer any questions. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.